up? And welcome to a reckoning with the laws of gods and men. My name is Ebube, and you are listening to Popcorn for Dinner. This week, on A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Dunk has to face the consequences of his actions, no matter how well-intentioned they might have been. There are villains afoot, there are heroes lurking, and honestly, fate will decide. But I guess amidst all the love, all the hate, all the fart jokes, we have an amazing story on our hands, and I can't wait to jump into it. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring out Afam and Sunen, because I know they are itching to talk about all the things that happened, the reveal at the end, the twists and turns, the people we need to punch again, or maybe for the first time. So, yeah, guys. Are we tense or are we hyped? Or both?
Both. Definitely both. Tense and hype.
Okay. Well,
I
I can
mean,
live with that.
I just feel like all of a sudden the stakes went from nothing mattering to all of a sudden it all matters. But if you think about it, nothing happens because it's still just a random hedge knight who has entered this shitstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything definitely matters at this point. And I suppose in the spirit of surprise appearances at the end, please, I guess we might as well welcome Bankole, because that's the thing we do on this show now. We just have people showing up.
I mean, if you're gonna if I'm gonna be him, I will take it. But you know what? On like a certain Apple night, I was like, I made a promise. I am gonna stick to my promise. I'm gonna be there. On like a certain Apple night that switches allegiance at the last minute. So you know what? I am not a fossil. Let's just say it like that.
Apple Nights. What a good way to put that.
Not
My God.
Not the wrong type of fossil way. Let's put it
The
that
wrong
way.
type of fossil way. One of them is just the best person ever, but like the other one is
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
What a
Yup.
foolish guy, though. Like, can we actually? You know what? Let's just start there. Like, how?
Hey,
I mean,
man,
obviously,
secure the bag.
at least a couple of us knew that he was going to do that. I
Yup.
definitely did not. So when he was giving his initial speech, I was like, "Wow, who knew this guy had honor? Not me. I would never have guessed. I would never
To
have
be
guessed it.
honest, even though I knew what was going to happen, he still got me too.
He got you? Like,
He
I'm
got
like,
me
bro.
too, bro. I'm like, I know what's going to happen, but like the way he was talking. First of all, the
You're like, I
Fossaway
did changing it up.
the Fossaway accent, very first men, because they're
Mhm.
descended from the
Very
first
northern.
men. Yeah, so I was, even though they're a house from the Reach, but yes, because they have that same origin, I would lie, I was getting hype. He's talking about how the Targs have no dragons anymore. About how it's important for knights to follow their oath. I'm like, yo, wow, who knew? But he got me
Talking
too,
about,
man.
we have to defend the innocent. Obviously,
Yup.
we know that the Fossways don't like the Targaryens. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is where this guy comes in. Only to be like, yeah, I don't like them, but they gave me a lordship. I'm just thinking, man, like, wow. Men will do anything for money.
One of my favorite things in the TV show I'm watching that I think is good is when something is happening, I'm like, this doesn't make sense and you shouldn't be doing this. Like from the story point of view. And then the show in that same episode or later in the episode like tells me, yeah, we knew. We knew. Sense, right? And like,
Yeah.
because when he's talking, I'm like, no, this switch is too quick. Like we know him as a bastard. Like he shouldn't be doing this. Like this doesn't make sense from story point of view. So when he betrays, I was like, oh, okay. So you guys were as smart. Like this is a smart show. Like this happened in something like Industry earlier this season as well, where something happens. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And then I was like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, you guys are better writers than me. I apologize.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bankole, because I mean, we see his characterization from that first scene with Raymond, how he's kicking people around. This guy is a bully. And so that switch up, you're right. Something feels wrong, but I think it also feels so hopeful for Dunk that you're like, oh, I can believe in this guy. But you're right, it's a smart show. It doesn't spoon feed you, but it lets you like put things together and then see them pay off later.
Yeah, but who hasn't taken a job?
It validates your own intelligence.
Who hasn't taken a job that you want for the bag? Why can't my man secure the bag? I don't understand this. So, dude, if we were in those environments, would have been selling out for money. Let's not get it twisted.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
don't
what
know.
does he say?
My
What does
opinions
he
are
say? He
mixed.
knows men that have sold their honor for less. So he's not like the
And I'm
worst
just
person
like,
in the world.
less?
I
To be fair-
mean, Dunk himself was offered to sell his honor for much less, and had he probably wouldn't be in this situation right now.
So there's a
Potentially,
lesson not
yeah,
to be
and-
said. There's a lesson to be learned.
I have to shout out the characterization, actually, again, just like you guys, because when you really think about it, Stefan Fossaway has not said all that much in this show. Like, he showed up bullying his cousin for literally, like, I don't know, 120 seconds. Like, he was barely there. And we just knew everything we needed to know about him. We knew everything we needed to know to understand that scene where he's promising Dunk the world is strange. Like, we just knew. And I think that's great acting. That's great writing. Like, it just makes a lot of sense. Even when he's like, oh, you know, I have friends. He mentions names like Lannister, Otho. I was like, wow. He even says, you shan't die under my watch. To say something like, you shan't die under my watch. And then turn around and like, oh, by the way, I'm going to join the guys that are trying to kill you, by the way.
Yo, but he says something interesting, right? Which is, whenever I seek answers, the answer is always more glory, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess that was
if
that
you
was the
can
tell.
think about it, more
That was the
glory
tell.
means a lordship. He that is his guiding path in this show.
Yeah, so he's cheap.
Ebube, I know, sorry to interrupt you, and I know you have a plan, but obviously this is my first time talking about House of Dragon, sorry. Knights of Seven Kingdoms.
Are you sure you should be here?
Wrong show, buddy.
After a while, they all just get mixed up in your head.
Okay.
As black people, we call all of them Game of Thrones.
Wow. I hate that.
But there are a
that's
few things I would like to hit
Thrones.
from the previous episodes, if you don't mind. First of all, Afam, I'm very disappointed in you because last episode, Sonen was wearing his Spurs shirt and you allowed him record with you.
Wow.
And
I noticed it too, but I just kept quiet.
I don't recognize trash.
I was like, let's keep the peace.
I don't recognize trash.
I was like, wow. Anyway, so let me just, if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to run some quick things, my thoughts on the first 3 episodes. Sir Alan, more like Sir Along. Am I right?
Wow. Is that a One Piece joke? That's crazy.
There will be a lot of dick jokes here. Afam said that Egg was the boldest kid he had ever seen. I would like to contend that he's the boldest person I've ever seen. And this is speaking as a follically challenged person. Like, that guy's shaver is incredible.
Yeah.
Halfway into this first season, and like Baelor is obviously the best ever Targaryen, right? Like,
Best ever, like, hands down.
I am so scared that like there is. I don't think there is, because it doesn't seem like that. But if there's a twist that makes him another Targaryen, I will be so fucking annoyed. But so far, he seems like the best guy. Dunk was in front of some hot women, and like his low self-esteem dropped even further. And bro, I get it. Like I was like,
we all been there, man.
It makes
we all
sense.
Been there.
I too also fall for the pretty actress. So look, like I get it. They say all the dragons are gone. But how do they explain that giant snake in between Sir Alan's legs?
This nigga came with a list.
There were quite a few. Are we sure Sir Alan didn't die from carrying a weapon of mass destruction for 60 years? Do we think Dunk is good with horses? Because, you know what, let me not finish that one.
Let's not.
Good God Almighty.
Anyway, time out. Anyway, I just wanted to, those are just my quick thoughts. But I just wanted, before we go on, so I've loved you guys' coverage so far of the season. Obviously, people have loved you as well. So yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And you chose to reward us for said coverage with your list of jokes. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
no problem.
I was like 3 dick jokes. Yeah, that's
impressive. You guys, we could have spent your time.
You know the funny thing about that? It was actually in the script. Like in their table read, they actually said out loud, Sir Alan wakes up and goes to pee with the longest cock imaginable. Like from the script, literally from the story was there. It wasn't as if that came up in production. It's not as if it came up as they were trying to work on prosthetics. That wasn't a random thing. Like literally from the conception of this, they put it in the script that this guy would just like, that's exactly how they wrote it. Largest cock
and every
imaginable.
time I'm like poor 10-year-old Dexter Solanzo, like you're going through puberty very, very
No,
early.
I mean, Daniel Ings said that he he actually had to get used to the idea of swearing around him.
I know, that was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting how they're doing it, and I just have to keep shouting him out. What an impressive kid, man! Like he's doing such an amazing job. He emotes on such an interesting level. You can see that in the first scene with Dunk, right? Because it starts off actually very interestingly, because it's a callback to that line, "The luck is ours alone," because it looks like he's looking at stars, but then the stars turn into rocks. So like this symbolism there is like, the world was open, but now it's very, very small. It's very closed. It's probably underground. Anyway, this is a castle, right? So this is like the show's way of telling us visually, immediately from the get-go of this episode, he is not so lucky anymore, right? So we get this lonely shot of him sitting, and you can tell from the cinematography and the look on his face that everything is dire, right? And the thing is, there are a lot of things that will kind of help me sort of make this point as we go on talking about this episode. But this is the most Game of Thrones episode of this show so far. There's so many things they've done, and it feels as though it's like, by the end of this, in your mind, it's like, I basically said out loud when I watched it, it's like Game of Thrones has started. Because you have a feeling of something they've been holding back, like a certain kind of tension, a certain kind of level of stakes they've been holding back that has now wormed its way into the story. Like, it's all been fun and games. And now at the moment when it's not fun and games anymore, a lot of things change tonally. We get shifts in music. We get shifts in Egg. Like, Egg is not as talkative in this episode. Maybe it's because now we know who he is, so he has to be himself. He has to go through his training. He has to show that he is who he is. I mean, it was interesting to me, right? So when he comes in and he's dressed in black and red, and you can just tell from Dunk's face, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm cooked. This guy's actually one of them. This guy's actually one of them. I'm finished. That was too funny, man. And the tears that Dexel saw Ansel cried as Egg. You can tell, like, this is, he's stopped being this unusually, weirdly mature child to a little boy who has done something wrong and is now afraid someone will die for it.
Exactly. You can really see that come out in him. And man, what an actor! How he just held those tears in his eyes, like that was so good. And another thing that was interesting to see was, Sir Dunk immediately being like, "Oh, you were playing a prank on me. This was all a big prank," because that has been his relationship.
He's used to being punched down on.
Exactly, by highborns. Like, even Aerion telling him, "Take my horse." Even like people with little power, like even our game master messing with him. Like, he's just used to being messed with. So it's like, here we go again,
So
it's crazy.
So I was right that Egg is the devil.
Afam, are you going to stay on that hill?
Yo, like, this anti-egg man over
even
here,
now. Is your bag close by?
Yeah, I was like,
no, so but even to your point, this entire episode takes place at night.
Yeah,
like obviously it's brighter than like the Game of Thrones night episodes. Like, but like. To your point, it's like
so many levels.
It's dark. There's some jokes, but like it's not funny. It's not the cheery bright
even in the morning when it comes.
Season 1 to 3, episodes 1 to 3. Sorry, yeah.
No sunshine whatsoever. Like I remember as my brother who has read the book after the meeting that Dunk has with the group, not just with Baelor, but with like Baelor, Maekar, Arion, Ashford. We were like, okay, so this guy has to find 6 other people before 6 a.m. Because it's like, how is he going to do that?
Talk about risk his clock. But can I just shout out the writer? Because I've heard that, like, and it makes sense from a TV writing point of view. I've heard that like people like Baratheon and I can't remember his name now, but the Knight with One Eye. Like
that's
they kind of have
Robert Riesling.
That they kind of have like
Riesling,
smaller, not smaller roles, but they appear later in the books than they do in the show. And I guess like the show's writing was to, okay, let's meet these guys. For Baratheon, let's fall in love with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, whether that means they would die in the fight, I do not know. Obviously, I don't know. I haven't read the books or anything. But yeah, I like the fact that like they introduced us to these characters before. Like, it would have been weird if you just see Baratheon pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, you're a guy with a stag on his cloak. Like, okay. So I like from a writing point of view, I really like what they've done.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. And Baelor's question, of course, is kind of the through line of this episode. How good a knight are you? Every single scene, like both emotionally, you know, mentally, physically, skill-wise, that's the question Dunk has to answer, because that's the question that determines the future. And, you know, as Baelor also says, one not need intend harm to do it, which is what he says to Egg, or at least about Egg. And you can see Egg starting to have a little bit of a growth moment there, you know.
Yeah.
He has to take things very seriously. And you can tell that he can't hide anymore. You know, he leaves, he even says, as you will, Your Grace. And, you know, you can tell that this family has a dynamic, whereas at some point, you know, family ends and then business begins. And the business of what they do here is to try to be just. And it's a question of how just they can actually be, right? And I don't know. I feel like there's an incitement, or at least there's an invitation to the audience to kind of pay attention to the changing dynamics.
Yeah, and you mentioned being just. I think one of the through lines of this episode, right, is the intent of these structures, the idealism behind some of these structures, such as knighthood and some of these laws, and the reality of power. Like, those things constantly clash throughout the episode, right? You have Fossoway talking a big game, and then the reality of power, what he actually does. You have, even after Dunk makes this impassioned speech, you know, that should reach the heart of any true knight, you have what Otho Bracken does, stands up and then farts. The reality of power.
That was crazy to me.
That is.
No, imagine.
Listen,
they said his name. They didn't say that he's a Bracken.
Man.
You know.
Oh, they did?
They list he's a Bracken, and they mention him. Actually, he was one of the people Fossoway said he was going to go get.
Yeah, he said Otho Bracken. He said Otho, but we later found out that it's Otho Bracken. And I guess for anybody who watched House of the Dragon, you remember the Brackens and the Blackwoods and their legendary feud. Those same people. This guy is one of their descendants, which tells you everything you need to know about their family. Riverlands people are weird. But the thing is, him getting up to do that is just a special kind of cruelty, you know? Like,
exactly.
Somebody's here begging for his life. At least keep quiet. Like, you went out of your way to stand, give him hope just to do that, and then everyone laughs. It just tells you, okay, this is what life is.
If you notice though, the small folk weren't laughing.
Of course they weren't laughing.
The small folk weren't laughing. It was only like the lords and ladies and everything that were kind of like, oh, you know, this is what we do. You're common folk. Like, what do you think this is?
Yeah. And they kind of expect this from these people on some level, the small folk.
Yep.
And I, like you said, with Dunk and Egg in that scene in the cell, you know, when Egg says my uncle, he's like, Prince Baelor. He's like, okay, cool. It's like, oh, your name is Egg. I've never heard of Prince Egg. Short for Egon. He's like, of course. Like, of course, your name is Egon. You know,
it's
you're
like
someone. You're like,
son saying my dad.
How many of them have there been? Like, after the Conqueror, is like that's basically the most important name in their whole family, and they just gave it to this kid. So I've just been rolling around with a guy named Aegon, descended from a guy who came in on 3 dragons. Like, I'm cooked. This every step of the way. At the end of every scene, you can just see on Dunk's face, like, I'm cooked. You remember that his walk to the tent where he's just in the rain, looking like a ghost.
I knew he was cooked, or he felt like he was cooked when, 1, he stopped eating, and 2, Fossoway asked him if he was hungry, and I was like, no. I was like, this boy is always hungry. He's not hungry right now.
Even Fossoway was surprised. He's like, huh?
It was like, what do you mean?
Raymond Fossoway, by the way, the good Fossoway.
Yes, the good Fossoway. Can we talk about that speech quickly that he gives?
Yes,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it makes sense from we don't want it to be cliche. It makes sense that it doesn't automatically convert somebody, but like it also like subverts our expectations. Because so I watched, I think, these first 4 episodes before the show came out. So I watched the first 2, and I was like, "Thank you, HBO." And I was like, "Oh, Ebube, I like the show a bit. If you want to, like, if there's space for me, please just like bring me in." Then I watched 3 and 4, and I was like, "Ebube, please, I need to be." And like, I watched this maybe like 4 weeks ago. I watched this like 4 weeks ago, and I've still not watched 5 and 6 because I thought I was going to be so I don't want to watch ahead. But like, it was in 4 after, because I kind of watched 1 and 2 back to back, and then 4, like, I realized what the show was about, if that makes sense. Like, you very early know that Dunk is a good person and a good knight, and he's trying to do knightly things. But like, because we're used to this Game of Thrones world, I'm like, oh, is he going to be corrupted, or is he going to be grayed out a bit, like he's like dipping in and out? But then episode 4, I was like, oh no, the show is about a good person and being a good person.
World, yeah,
yes,
exactly.
And like, you realize that as he's been going through this world, he's just been like changing everybody. Like, everyone has just been like,
as opposed to them changing him.
Goodness. Yes, like, think about Steely Pete. Is like, even before, he's like, I will help you. Like, give me the old steel. Like, I see something in you. Like, the sex workers are like, we're sorry. Like, everyone is just, and then, so here you're like, oh, is he going to convert somebody? I'm like, no, actually, no, because he's already converted the most important person just by his own nature. He didn't have to give a speech, just like by him being himself and standing up for Tanzo. And I was like,
and not just Tanzo, sorry, Bankole, but
no.
I think some of the things that made the biggest impression on Baelor was when Dunk covers for Egg. Immediately he comes in and he's pouring the wine. He's like, he's a good kid, you know, like he's going to be fine.
You can see on Egg's face too. Egg is like, wait, this guy's defending me?
Like, when he's in the worst position ever, he's still covering for me. And I think Baelor saw that.
100%.
Not just that, Dunk also bringing up the duty of a knight in respect to Tanzel's, the violence that was visited about Tanzel, when he's like, I did the right thing. Like, her fingers were being broken. And I think Baelor sees that, oh, wow, this guy is really the real deal. At every cost to himself, he intervenes.
Yeah, he's basically Clark Kent. He's basically Superman.
All right.
It's like, he's doing good in this world despite everything.
From a small town roots too.
People have to
King's
just
Landing in a small town, but
it's Flea Bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, it's from
and it's like, people just kind of have to believe and buy into his goodness, which is kind of like, not to be all soapy or whatever, is like the goodness changing everybody around him. Obviously, some people are not going to be changed. And
I'm not going to
whenever you guys talk about Aerion, like, I think I need to talk about Finn Bennett's performance in this role, because
wow,
oh my god, you guys touched on it last week, but like, poof. Last time I saw him, he was playing the best person on True Detective Night Country, and now he's playing the worst person here, and I'm just like, sure, range,
bro,
absolute range is beautiful.
Wait, so I think we've seen arguably the best Targaryen so far. Do we also feel like we've seen the worst Targaryen at the same time?
I think it's very possible. Well, Aemond is still there. But like,
not Aemond is level-headed. Aemond is actually level-headed. And I said this last week as well. This, like, Game of Thrones has a way of giving us very, very pale-haired people who are entitled and make that entitlement everyone else's problem. We've had a whole host of them, starting from Joffrey, and now we're here. And this guy actually feels like he doesn't feel like an inconvenience. He doesn't feel like he's just messing around. He literally feels villainous. Like, this may be the first actually villainous person, like, on some level among the Targaryens. And just as you were saying with Dunk, right, and the way he's changing everyone, A Song of Ice and Fire operates with characters fighting within themselves, because that's what George R. Martin likes, because everyone operates in shades of grey. Dunk is like the first person in this entire world and this connected shows who's actually just good. Like, there is no negative in him. He's just trying to be good. He wants to do the right thing at all times. He's like, like, if people were like, okay, Ned Stark was good, and then his goodness made him not play the Game of Thrones well. He did not handle politics. Dunk is like, I'm not even playing. Like, I'm just here. where are the innocent? I want to defend them. Because can somebody show me where the innocent are? Like, it's kind of interesting that way, no? So now to get Aerion, who is the opposite end of the spectrum, is very well balanced, because now we have a chance to actually see a fight between good and evil in Game of Thrones that is overt between two people. Like, the closest Game of Thrones ever came to that normally was literally just the fight between the living and the dead. It's like, okay, living good, dead bad. But now that they're doing that between people, and I think it's fun that we're getting to see that, because the shades of grey still are there. You can still tell that there's internal conflict, but everybody's standing for something specific. Like, the only person who, I mean, even Maekar, right? I was going to say Maekar is the only person who is kind of just like a bit, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's kind of just here in really, really nice armor, Maekar, by the way, because
he has to. He plays incredulity so well.
It's fantastic. But he's literally just like, this is so annoying. He hits his, he's like, bro, like, this is ridiculous. Like, why were you there? What were you doing? Now I have to wear armor and fight for you.
Also, it was so funny when he tells Arion, he's like, why don't you go slay him himself? Meanwhile, you're looking at this huge man. I'm like, bro.
He's like, you want to send your son to fight that?
To go and fight that. I don't think he likes Arion. Because that's the only...
Doesn't. It 100% does. He's like, I have 4 sons. If I had to be rid of you, I can be rid of you. I want to find Egg and Daeron.
I'll make him... Yeah, and he said I'll make him a good person if it's the last thing I do in episode 2 or something. Like, so I don't know how much of this is in the books, but like, I really like the characterization of the 3 Targaryens, like Baelor, Maekar, and Aerion, because I think it's very different from anything else we've seen. Obviously, Baelor is good, and there's no that good Targaryen, but like Maekar is like, so far he doesn't seem like evil or bad in any way.
He's not just evil. Like he's just consistently
just get through this.
He's literally just consistently inconvenienced, and that's something that I was thinking about with this show and the Targaryens specifically.
It's crazy.
They are normal now. Like, in a way, they're normal. They've always had this mysticism, this mythical air around them. Their hair even used to be longer, just so they could show that our pale hair is longer. But now they wear their hair normally. Some of them don't even have the pale hair. Like, Maekar just has like a beard of like, he's just like, I'm a bureaucrat. I just have to get on with my day.
Speaking of where I saw people, Sam Spro, who plays Maekar, was in Fargo, the last season of Fargo, where he also had a very weird haircut. So
yes.
Like, it's right.
Yes.
But like, I think Maekar is interesting because like, on one hand, like, he's so angry with Aerion. Like, when he pulls him out of the small council meeting or whatever.
I love that they don't show his whole body when he does that. You just see an arm grabbing him. Like, it's a comedy stick.
It's so funny. But like, he's also just like, well, yeah, how many Targaryen fathers would we see that will go out and look for their sons? Like, 2 out of their 4. They have 2 other sons. Like, I'm not going to say he loves them because we don't know that much, but like, he at least goes far enough to go into the woods to find them.
He feels duty to them.
He's not rude to his brother, which I find very interesting. Like, he seems like he respects his brother as the heir. He doesn't like, he's like, oh, whatever, yeah, chivalry. But like, he's not like, think about all the other brothers we've seen. Like, he's definitely not eyeing the throne in this case.
He's
like,
not Daemon.
From what we've seen so far. Yeah.
He's
like,
the 4th
Daemon, he's not Aemon.
There's no chance.
So, I don't know. I was just very, like,
it could also be because of his position. Like, in the family, because like Baelor is number 1 and Maekar is actually number 4.
He's number 4.
It's not like this is his immediate older brother. Like, there are others. So like, I think there's something about being so detached from the potential line of succession that has made Maekar just like, yeah, I just need to get on with my day. I just need to move on. I just need to I'm just trying to be me.
And also, I know this has been something we've danced around, but you also have to consider these guys fought in the Blackfire Rebellion together.
Yes, they did.
And for those who don't know what that is, it was a conflict set right before this show that had
we'll definitely learn more about.
We sure will, but it had to do with the Targaryen line of succession. But they fought together in this conflict, and I think, if anything, that probably cemented to them the importance of Targaryen unity, at least in the face of others.
And the fact that they're in peacetime because of it.
Civil wars in 100 years. Sorry, if you have 2 civil wars in 100 years, you kind of need to like show up your PR. Your PR needs to kind of be good.
Exactly. And not only that, you lost all your nukes in one of those wars.
Allegedly.
It's crazy. I don't know. And of course, there's there's like a whole gamut of how these people's personalities operate as Targaryens in this current world. There are more Targaryens to meet, 100%. I will say that. But the funny thing is, our 3 Targaryens have now, of course, by the point of this episode, become 5, because it's obviously revealed that Egg is one. But we also get Daeron. What do you guys make of him?
Oh my God, I've been wanting to talk about him for the whole time. Well done to that actor, man. He goes from, this spoiled, drunken idiot, and he makes you feel his pain of the burden of dragon dreaming.
He's like he's drunk because he has to dodge the visions and the dreams.
Exactly. But just as a reminder, we've seen dragon dreamers before, right? We've got Helena from House of the Dragon. Similarly, she would see things in these metaphorical forms, and they would then come to Beast Under the Boards, if you all remember. Now we've got Daeron. But in the story, there have also been other dragon dreamers like Dennis, who was the original Targaryen that made them leave Valyria before the Doom. So it was cool seeing that Targaryen lore come back again. But I think he's a very interesting character. He clearly knows his place in the world, and he's not really that enthused about it. He's just trying to get away from these dreams through alcohol.
I think as an actor, playing a drunk in a George R. R. Martin story might be the best thing ever. Like, you get to have so much fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Was Viserys a dreamer? Or did he just think he was a dreamer?
Well, which Viserys are we talking about?
Paddy Considine. Rhaenyra's dad.
Paddy Considine, that is something that is debated in the fandom. Because he did have certain dreams that he thought meant something. Some of it came true, but I don't think he was as strong of a dragon dreamer. He had it, but not like everything else in Targaryen land. There's
what
a
pathetic
spectrum.
Man.
Oh, come on, man. I have a soft spot for Viserys.
Don't let a start on Viserys.
He could have done better as a king and as a father, but
he made horrible decisions. Let's not clean up his past, bro.
No Viserys PR over here.
It's all his fault.
Wow.
So just can I ask you guys a question as the Council of Knowledge people? So these fights, how is there a winner? Is it when somebody dies? Is it like would you like to take this one?
So yeah, I can take this one. So the Trial of 7 basically is not just where someone dies. It's basically when the entire battle is over. Either people die or yield or are incapacitated.
Okay.
So whoever is left.
So you're allowed to yield?
Yeah, you're allowed to yield, of course.
Okay.
Would they listen to you?
Well, I assume if you are not the main guy, I mean, look at what our boy Daeron did. He kind of, is like, just knock me out,
If you're Maekar, would you? I mean, I guess if you're Maekar, you only yield if like your son has been. Because anyway, yeah, I was thinking of like, how does this end without like there being mass
Just think of it like a regular battle between 2 armies, but the armies are 7 people each. That's it.
Yeah.
So it'll work just like that.
So the first time it happened in Westerosi history was in Maegor, and it was 7v7, and it was only one person who survived. So
out of 14.
Out of 14, only one guy survived. Yeah. He was out for like 2 weeks after he survived.
I mean, the fight is definitely like real. It's supposed to be like, it's a fight, and you're using real weapons. Anything can happen.
Yeah. It's considered sacred, right? It's a form of trial by combat. And the thing about trial by combat is you cannot refuse it.
Exactly.
Literally.
And you can also yield in trial by combat, but if you are the accused, that yielding means you die, you
die. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. So
why is nobody just beating Arion to tell him to
shut
up?
What do you say, Afam?
Why is nobody just beating Arion to tell him to shut up?
I mean, his dad and Dunk are certainly trying.
People have. If it's not for lack of trying, number one.
It's not for lack of trying.
And number 2, he's not wrong, because it actually tells you just the kind of sinister person he is. To hear, okay, trial by. He's like, he hears, okay, I want a trial by combat. He's like, I want a trial by 7, which is like, it's such a niche thing to request,
the fact
to be
that he
honest.
knows it is crazy.
The fact that he knows, think about his age, right? Like, I'm guessing that he's probably the kind of person who has done a bit of studying. He's not stupid by any means. But the fact that he's just the type of person who would know certain things in order to kind of keep them in his pocket for the right moment. And he knows what a trial by 7 is. He knows what it implies. He's even being strategic because I think on some level he knows, okay, this guy is not as well trained as I am. But if you give him the right weapons, I might be cooked. So let's do it 7 on 7.
And I think he's counting on Dunk not finding enough knights.
He is as well, yeah. He is. Because, I mean, at this point, this in the world of the story, like, we're 4 episodes in, but it's only been, like, 3 days since we first saw Dunk?
Yeah, thereabouts, yeah.
So, I mean, we know that he has to find all these people. You know, he's walking around like a ghost.
Sorry, just to Sonen's point. We also know that he has a plan to stop Dunk from getting all 7. Like, he's putting Mole in there. So, sorry, that actually changes things. That makes a lot of sense now, actually.
So you think that Stefan was already on Arion's side at that meeting with Dunk?
Yeah, I think he says so. I think Stefan says so, that, like, Aerion would not have given me a lordship if I did not, like, convince you that I was going to get people for you. I think Stefan says so in that. I'm pretty sure that's what he says.
I thought that the convincing of Stefan happened, you know, between the meeting and him showing up. So the idea that he was already that's an interesting...
Yeah, he's already lying through his teeth in that meeting. That's what
My God.
That makes it even more sinister, man. I must have missed
is this a new read? Because that's the way I took that, what he said.
I think it's definitely interesting, and I have to go back and look at it. But I didn't clock that. I clocked, in my opinion, that yes, he was offered the lordship, but I didn't clock that it could have been even before. But yeah, that would make sense for Arion's character.
Wow. Actually, was I the only person that just had the biggest face palm ever when, after everything that's happened, Dunk sees Daeron and is trying to kill him? He's like, bro, have you not learned?
Hey, you can't kill him. You can't kill me twice.
That's exactly what he said, man. You can't kill me twice. Like,
Bars.
You really can't kill me twice.
Like I said, if I'm going down, I'm taking one. I'm leaving some maybe here or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I think another thing that I just want to talk about in regards to Aerion and this trial by 7, I think Aerion is, I won't say he's a coward, but he's going to always press his advantage, you know, to get out as best as he can. And so this, I think, is just part of it. He was ready to go with a trial of 7 immediately. I think he had it in his mind. He's like, how can I get this guy out of here, assuming he wants a trial by combat?
What the fuck is a trial by 7? His dad is so annoying.
He's actually great.
His dad is always like, what is going on here?
I'm telling you, this guy always looks... Man. He literally always looks like he just got a parking ticket. Like, I'm telling you.
I'm dead. Dude, I see so many similarities between the relationship with Maekar and his son, the annoyance, and Viserys and Daemon. It's like that annoyance, like you're a plague sent to whatever me. I can't remember what he said.
Why can't you just leave me alone and just be, yeah.
Like, I can't just be normal, man.
Because his perspective is actually one of, and I keep saying he's inconvenienced, but like it's justified, right? Remember, this guy just came back from finding his other 2 sons. Like, he's been gone for some time. He just got back only to find out, like, oh, Arion has like done a whole bunch of things. Like, let's look at Arion's rap sheet so far. Like, the guy killed somebody's horse, shattered his leg, had the Kingsguard come out into the tilts while the small folk were there, embarrassed Baelor, caused Ashford some actual material monetary damages. Then he goes and destroys the puppeteer's tent. Poor. He breaks a girl's finger. He gets punched in the face. He gets kicked. Like, I'm at 9 things. Should I keep going?
I just imagine Maekar calling Aerion and be like, bro, you know this is a PR campaign, right? Like, you know we came here
They were sent here by the king.
Like you're doing the exact opposite of what we're saying.
Like, we went, this is a rally. This is meant to be a campaign rally. And what are you doing?
Like, we want people to like us again.
Like,
we want people to like us again. You're burning tents and breaking fingers of women.
But that brings up something interesting, which is Baelor's participation also, apart from being, supporting Dunk for him being who he is. But do you think that's also part of the PR campaign as well?
I just think Baelor is a good person.
I'm going to
get
say
what you're
no.
saying, but
what you're saying makes sense because it would be fine strategically, and it wouldn't shock me, honestly, if he later reveals it did cross my mind, right? But the truth is, he doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do. He's the heir to the throne. And he could literally just sit on the high table and watch this unfold. Or he could join his family's side. But instead, he's making a stand here. Because we've already established, right? We established this a few minutes ago. This is a real fight. He could die. Like, he's entering this under the laws of gods and men. And if somebody from the other side mistakenly kills him, they'll be well within their rights. If it's force away, which, by the way, impossible. Impossible. But if that happens...
Never say never.
I mean, he fights well for Esquire.
That's true, but I mean, this is well, let's just say he breaks spears. So I feel like this is something where we're going to figure out who the story wants us to root for. We're going to see that in the coming episode, right? Because there's a lot, like, we know who we want to root for, but we don't know if there's still going to be any more twists. We don't know if, for example, somebody might have the upper hand in a way that we don't expect. And we know that they're going to charge at each other 100%. So even someone like Raymond Fossaway, right, who has now been knighted, like, he's also seen some elevation in the world. And it's like, what's in store for him? Because we know that somebody's probably going to die at the end of all this. And at this point, it could be anybody. I think the show has done a good job of setting up a situation where anyone could conceivably be feared for by the audience.
I've said my goodbye to Baratheon. I've made my peace with that one. I'm just
speaking of Baratheon, the scene of him knighting Fossaway was so amazing.
That was nice.
It brings up something interesting, which is, does Dunk know the words?
Is Dunk even a knight?
I
know you guys can answer this maybe.
Well,
but
it flashes back to Sir Arlen kind of shrugging, if you recall.
So you read that as that was Dunk's knighting, and Arlen's like,
yes,
I don't know what to say.
He was knighted, I think. Yeah.
I read that
but I don't think Sir Arlen knew the words either. I think Sir Arlen's just a knight now.
I read it as him looking to Sir Arlen for help, and Sir Arlen's like, bro, you're on your own, I'm dead. But I like your reading. of it.
I think it's both, actually.
I read it as both those things, actually, because it's interesting, because Dunk is hearing all these things, even in his mind, right? He hears the words from Tanzel's performance, "You are no knight." Like, his insecurities are very loud here.
You're a fool.
So he has to figure this out.
Speaking of Tanzel, can we just very quickly, because I know we have to leave. So as a man, worst way to start
nothing
any
good
sentence.
I've ever followed as a man. Why would you do that?
I said it and I threw up in my mouth. I was like,
oh my goodness.
But as a man, I felt really bad that Tanzel left, like, because Dunk obviously did that and she left. But as a black man, I was like, yes, babe, please go to Dawn. Let these white people deal with their white people problems.
For real, man. They're breaking fingers out here. Like, come on, man.
I was like, Dunk will be fine. Like, I was like, yes, sister, please just go away.
I can't stress.
I love it. She was like, one night and ran away.
I literally can't stress enough, like, the level of, like, measured, precise, pointed, specific cruelty it takes to break someone's finger. Like, that's something they do in torture rooms, in torture chambers. Like, to do that to somebody just because you can. Like, and he had guys, by the way. He came with his guys.
But he did it himself.
He did it himself.
There were dead bodies on the floor. You guys saw that, right? There were dead bodies on the floor.
Were they dead?
I'm
think
pretty
they
sure
already
they
killed
didn't
them.
move. I think so.
That's possible.
Oh, they had killed her
It's
team.
not impossible.
Oh,
I think
the rest of
people
the
were dead.
puppeteers probably had that as well.
wow.
But do you know, if I tell you that that's not the scariest moment in that scene for me? It's his line reading again, Finn Bennett, incredible, of why did you throw away your
Why'd
life
you
to
think?
follow this man?
Yeah, that was
Like,
that
it's
was the
so
moment.
calm. He,
And
like,
so
Joffrey,
That was
sociopathic.
beautiful, honestly.
Joffrey
Because that
would
is the
shout
point where you
it.
just know. That's the
Aemond
point where
would-
he's actually
yeah.
villainous.
Aemond would slap you as he's saying, like, all of them would, like, he's just very, like, he's genuinely confused. He's trying to make the math. He's like, what did you, why?
You can tell he's
It's like, why
fascinated.
why did he just do that? It makes no sense to him. It's like, I'm the prince, and you just, it's like, he's genuinely like, why? It's like, I'm going to kill you now. You know that, right? Like, why did you do this? I was like, yeah, this is a different kind of Targaryen evil. I really love that line reading.
Finn plays him
I mean,
amazing.
as Aegon
honestly.
says, right, Arion considers himself dragon in human form.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That brings up so many
The
things in
song
my
at the
head that
end.
I cannot even say. But the thing is, that's what's lucky for Dunk, right? The fact that everyone hates this guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the reasons Maekar has to fight. Because
Yeah.
he's like, bro, we are here on a PR campaign. This guy who nobody already likes is here. And now we can't expect people to root for him. So we need to make sure that, like, we're all united in this effort. Because
Mhm.
Have to bring in
no
the
one
King's
likes him.
Guard.
Like, they're gonna, like, if they get the chance, they're gonna kill my son. So, like, I have to do something.
Yeah. I mean, and if it's okay, just for the benefit of some of our listeners, who might not know everyone that's on Dunk's side so far
Mhm.
and why they are. There's a couple of them I wanted to just go over real quick to remind some of the
Please.
listeners of how we've seen them and why they're there. So, we have Humphrey Harding. He's the one that has the shield with the diamonds of red and white. He was the one on the horse, if you recall, that
Yeah.
Aerion struck and broke his leg.
And his leg
Now
is
there's
still
a guy
broken.
there's a guy with him that they don't really introduce as
With the
well.
mustache.
But he has like an orange mustache.
Yeah.
And that is actually, his name is Humphrey Beesbury. And the reason he's there is because, remember our boy Beesbury from
Lyman
House of the
Beesbury, yeah.
Dragon?
He's a descendant of
They're
that house.
very, very prominent house, as you can see. But Humphrey Beesbury is actually the brother-in-law of Humphrey Harding. And that's why he's there. Then we've got Raymond Fossaway, our boy Raymond, the best apple out there. Lionel Baratheon, of course. We've got Baelor, we've got Dunk. And then we've got Robin Riesling, who, if you remember, was
I knew
the
he was gonna
strange
join.
guy. Yeah, who walked
Yeah.
up on Egg as
The
Egg was
eye-patch
training
guy.
the horses.
Yeah. And on the other side, it's Aerion,
Aerion,
Maekar,
Daeron.
Daeron, three.
Two
is it
Kingsguard.
Two Kingsguard. Two
No,
Kingsguard.
three,
Stefan
actually.
Fossaway. Well, it's
It's
Aerion,
three
Daeron, Maekar,
And the three
Stefan
Kingsguard that are present.
Fossaway,
And three
and
Kingsguard, yeah.
three Kingsguard, yes.
Seven,
Although
yeah.
we haven't met one of the Kingsguard.
We've only met two,
so
yeah,
far.
but we know
We've
that
met-
three are here.
Yes, we've met Donald of Duskendale and Roland Crakehall.
And I suppose as we close out, I just have to ask one other thing that was on my mind the entire time. These people still let Egg squire? They
I
still
don't
allowed him
think
to go.
Egg.
They went like, yo,
I
bro,
don't
go to
think
your room.
Yeah, I think Egg genuinely also wants
Yeah,
to
they
be
can't
a
stop him, I
knight.
guess. I mean, I suppose they
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
stop him, but if everybody's participating in this somehow, then
I mean, no
you know,
one on
at the very
Dunk's
least now
side
they can
stop
equip him to serve Dunk well, you know, because they don't want him
Exactly.
to
Oh,
get
you
harmed.
think? No, I think his father is too busy trying to fight for his son's life to care about what Egg is doing. And no one
I
on
don't know if
Dunk's
Maekar
side
is
can
willing
stop
to
him because
lose
he's a
another
prince.
son in the process, though.
Yeah, but will the squire die? Like, why would the squire die?
Bro, well,
Anything can happen.
anything
bro,
can
on
happen.
the
You get run
list.
over by a horse. Let's not forget, this
Yup.
guy came here with 3 of his sons. One of his sons is in the Citadel. He came here with 3 sons. Now, somehow, he and those 3 sons have ended up on the battlefield. Like, I'm telling you, Maekar is stressed, bro.
Yo, the most stressed father in Westeros, bro.
Just as a final fan question. So you guys don't want to talk about the son that is in Citadel?
I mean, Ebube, what do
We
you
can.
think, bro?
We can.
No, we do
I
not.
think we can.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Not yet.
I guess everyone can go do their own research.
Don't do research. Do not Google
Also,
anything.
Do not Google anything.
Do
You
not
spoil
Google
it
anything.
immediately. Do not
Just
Google
message
anything.
us. Message us. We'll answer. Don't worry.
Exact. Message me. I'll answer you.
Yeah,
whoever
literally
you
just. Yeah.
But
do not.
I was going to say one big shout out I still have, and I keep bringing it back every single episode, is the costume design.
Love it. Yo, Lionel's armor, the Fossilway armor, every single Targaryen suit of armor. Nah.
Was amazing. And also the Fossilway's armor is bronze, which is similar to what we've seen from other houses of the first men, like the Arions. Not the Arions. There's these guys from the Vale. The Royce. Yes, the Royces. We've seen that kind of bronze armor, which shows how old their house is.
Yeah. Like they're very old school. And it's
Very
nice,
old
right?
school.
Because there's this callback to culture, there's this callback to actual tradition. And it shows that these people aren't just playing around. So I'm very appreciative of it. I'm appreciative of you guys. Thanks so much for all these insights. This was fun. And we can only really look forward to what's going to happen. Somebody's definitely going to get hurt. So I can just tell that episode 5 is, I mean, I know that's the understatement of the year so far, but
someone gonna die tonight.
but yeah, like I don't know, like we're eating good in this show so far. I like the way it's written. I like the way it's presented. You know, the character work is amazing. Like we said, costuming is amazing. Cinematography is good. It really does feel now. You know, I said this before. This is like the most Game of Thrones episode of this show. We are getting stakes. Like the stakes have built up very naturally up until this climactic point in the season. And you can tell that it was well thought out because this is a 6-episode run, right? For anyone who doesn't know. So we're kind of coming towards the end of this. This episode 5 is basically going to be like a normal Game of Thrones season, episode 9.
Yeah.
In terms of
episode 9, yeah.
all the madness
battle
is
episode.
going to happen, right? So definitely join us next week as well when we're going to be going through all that and reeling from whatever happens. Thanks again to you guys for coming on. Thanks again to everyone for listening up until this point. Please check out.
Can I do one quick synergy shout out? So Federico Sesca, who is a cinematographer on this show, also is a cinematographer on Industry.
Wow.
Cool.
So
That's
there
really
you go.
cool.
He sabi the work. He sabi.
He definitely does.
He knows what he's doing.
He definitely does.
Sabi the
And,
work
you know,
for sure.
As I was about to say, like, you know, please check out Bankole on Industry. Check out me on Industry. Check out everything else that we're covering because there's a lot going on right now. If you watch the Super Bowl, I'm happy for you. But yeah, I guess till next time, don't lose your sons. Stay off the battlefield.
Stay out the list.
Yep.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Bankole.